YouTube, Facebook, and Tumblr fans. It's time for another review, and this time we are taking a look at The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here, which is the new album by Alice in Chains that drops in 4 days, and ironically, it's 4 years coming since their last studio album, Black Is Way to Blue. So, what do I think of this album? How does it pan out? How does it stack up to the awesome legendary album that is Black Gives Way to Blue? Moreover, Dirt, Facelift, of course, with Lane Staley. Those two albums are pretty epic. And their EP, of course, Jar of Flies and Sap. So, how does it stack up to their previous work? Well, this is an album that I kind of have mixed feelings towards. Let me explain. The first 5 tracks on this album are just absolutely mind-blowing. Say, Hollow, which I actually reviewed last December. Very atmospheric track, very melodic. It's got a very, very slow pace, but, it doesn't just, drone on and on and on, and you're just waiting for an end. That's not what it is. I mean, the lyrics are good. The idea, the premise of the song, the structure, everything about it is just very, very well crafted, I can say, about it. And the vocals even go very well with the tuning of the guitars and everything, and just very good vocals overall. So it's Cantrell. What do you expect? But Hollow, like I said, reviewed it, so you already know what I think of that. Pretty done. Awesome guitar tone. Probably the best sounding guitar on the entire album. It's just very raw, very heavy, very droney. Just it has all that emotion. It captivates pretty much what this entire album should sound like, and Pretty Done. So definitely one of those higher cuts, best cuts on the album. Like I said, Stone single, awesome first single. I actually like it a little bit better than Hollow, to be honest. Voices, it's a very good acoustic track, and has some, like I said, some electric, but some acoustic, and very good song, very good structure, good vocals and everything. And let's see, The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here. Obviously, this is the title track. And it has a very interesting sounding guitar, I've got to say. It's very interesting on the lead section. Very good structure. Really like this song. It's not too long. It's actually, it's one of the longest songs on the album. Never mind. Okay, it doesn't seem too long. It actually goes by very quickly, fairly quickly. And it just, I don't know, it's very smooth. That's what I can say. The next one is Lab Monkey and Low Ceiling. These ones are more of the filler. They kind of drone on and lose your attention span for a little while. It's kind of like Private Hell off of Black Gives Way to Blue. It's just got those really sludge kind of doomy guitars, and just seems like it goes nowhere. It's very slow, very just disjointed. It feels very disjointed, to say the least. Cantrell's vocals obviously are excellent, but they are on this entire album, so that's not really saying a lot about these two songs. Let's see, Breathe on a Window and Scalpel. These are 2 more good songs, very good songs, and a little bit faster, some great pounding guitars, some good riffs, good structure. Phantom Limb and Hung on a Hook. Phantom Limb I didn't really care for. I thought it was more of a filler track, but Hung on a Hook, I mean, it's got an interesting structure. And there's this one part where it's just, you can feel the intensity of it. It just feels a little bit heavier, a little bit harder hitting, and the vocals are just very pounding. It's just more about 3/4 into the song. It's just like they raise the intensity level, and there's more tension in there. The next one, of course, is Choke, and this is one of my favorites. This actually is one of my favorite Alice in Chains songs, actually. I really like the vocals and the structure. Probably one of my favorite songs on the album, next to Hollow, Pretty Done, and Stoned. And, of course, the title track. So, yeah, it's Stone without the D, but she wants the D. Why did that pop into my mind? Anyways, good songs, but there's a lot of filler. So that's my only gripe. But then again, Alice in Chains basically said, don't expect to hear anything new on this album. It's us. It's going to sound like everything we've done in the past, with some new elements thrown in there, which it does, to be fair. This album, some of these songs could have been on Dirt. I mean, bar the fact that Lane Staley would be singing them, but, rest in peace, and I rest my case. So, awesome songs, but it really doesn't live up to the legacy of Black Gives Way to Blue. But this album had really big shoes to fill, really big footsteps to follow, and it just falls short of that. I mean, it has a lot of good songs. It has a lot of great moments, even on the filler tracks. But it's definitely not as good as Black Gives Way to Blue or even Dirt. I mean, Dirt is really good. Facelift, Dirt, and Black Gives Way to Blue are my 3 favorite Alice in Chains albums. This, while it is better than their self-titled and their maybe Jar of Flies, it's definitely not up to the legacy of those other 3 that I mentioned. So I'm going to give this album an 8.5 out of 10. While it is very listenable, and while I would recommend this to all Alice in Chains fans, as well as fans of grunge, it's not as good as Black Gives Way to Blue. And another thing that I just remembered, Jerry Cantrell sings every single song on this album. Where the hell is William Duvall? Okay, if you're not going to use William Duvall, then let him do his own thing. Let him go do a side project or something, because Last of My Kind was epic. Last of My Kind was the only song on Black Gives Way to Blue that William Duvall actually had a lead in. He had lead vocals throughout that entire song. It actually gave him an opportunity to basically put himself out there and say, I am the new lead vocalist of Alice in Chains. Not Jerry Cantrell. You know, Jerry Cantrell sings on every single song of these albums. You can kind of faintly hear William Duvall in the background of most of these songs, but he's definitely not fully utilized like we were all hoping. So that's another gripe I have, and another reason for the lower rating of 8.5. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. These are good songs, with a few filler tracks, as I mentioned before. But really, give William Duvall a chance, or at least, you know, make a few bonus tracks or something, you know? At last second, release a few bonus tracks, kind of like BFMV, Bullet for My Valentine, did with Scream Aim Fire. They just released a bunch of bonus tracks the next year in a different pack, you know? Something like that. Like, next year, 2014, William Duvall sings these songs, something like that. But yeah, now I'm just kind of ranting. I really wish that William Duvall actually had a bigger part in this, because it would sound just as awesome, if not more awesome. But, you know, Cantrell is a great and phenomenal vocalist. He just has that grungy kind of impact, much like Lane Staley did. And he actually sang Heaven Beside You off of their debut album. So, and that was actually a very good song. So, yeah, what can I say? 8.5 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching. This is Midnight Strike 3625. Keep calm and rock on.